Okay, y'all. It's time for episode 2. Work. Okay. Incense. Can I show you guys this actually? My little incense burner. It's a little tiny turtle that looks like he's holding a samurai sword. Isn't that cute? Anyways, incense lit. Coffee. Dwink. I have a coaster this time, guys. I've improved. I've learned from my mistakes in the past. And the coaster so the problem last time was that it was sitting on wood, and now my coaster is a wooden block. So we've upgraded to just another piece of wood for my wet cup to sit on. Just stop. All right. I have to check. This feels so wrong. Sorry, my ADHD brain had to just shift you a little bit this way. I don't have a professional recording studio, guys. It's just me. There's no team. There's no one helping me here. It's just me in my bedroom with lamps and my iPhone, as I said last time. Anyways, here we are. Welcome back to Things That Go Bump, my Goosebumps review podcast. My name is Zabian, and this is what we're doing. Welcome back to you watching a grown adult talk about the Goosebumps series by R.L. Stine, because, hey, the world is on fire. The world is burning and nothing matters. So you might as well watch it while you can, you know? You might as well watch this kind of content, a grown person talking about a children's series very critically and very unnecessarily. Is that okay? Work. Okay, let's do some housekeeping before we start episode 2. Episode 1, it was a very trial and error. I had not even designed any of the graphics that you see in episode 1 if you watched the video version of the podcast, obviously. So before I filmed episode 1, I didn't even know what the logo for this podcast looked like because I hadn't made it yet, or any of the graphics that you saw in the last episode. So we're back and better than ever. We're back with a vision. We're back with a clear concept of what I'm doing today. And what I'm doing today is nonsense. Again. That's pretty much all we're going to be doing here. But let's okay, so can I talk? I need to have some more coffee, I think. Twink. I almost knocked it over. I would have had a freak out. I noticed in the last episode, I think we should probably make, like, if you're a healthy substance user, a healthy substance user. That made no sense. If you are a person who likes to drink moderately, or maybe partake in a little medicinal marijuana appropriately and safely, I'm not here to condone the use of addicts to use their substance of choice. Do not do that. If you are someone who can consume substances healthily, I think we should make like a drinking game, or like take a shot, or hit the bong or something every time I mention that I'm a college dropout, because I realize I use that as a cop out for so many things, for just so much of my just general stupidity and ignorance to knowing basic information. And it was just ridiculous, and I'll probably keep doing it. So if you were irritated by me claiming that I'm a college dropout, not even claiming, stating the fact that I'm a college dropout, get over it, or start drinking. Hey, you'd probably enjoy the podcast a lot more if you were drunk. Anywho, but that was just ridiculous. And like, it's not my fault that I'm just kind of dumb. It's not my fault that the public education system really failed me. So, get over it. Oh, another piece of important housekeeping. Real quick, Olivia Rodrigo's new album Guts dropped since the last time I recorded. What do we think, guys? What's our favorite song? Okay, so after the first listen, my favorite song was probably Logical or Get Him Back. And I've re-listened to it 5 times now. And my favorite now is probably All American Bitch. That song fucking hits. And after I concluded that that's my favorite song for the moment, I've seen things of like it's a lot of people's favorite song and Olivia Rodrigo's favorite song that she's recorded from the album. And I realized that I'm just basic. I'm an all-American bitch. I know my age and I act like it. That's why I'm recording a podcast about Goosebumps. Because I know my age and I act like it. Also, can we stop with the comparison of Olivia Rodrigo to other musicians? Why do we do that? Let her have her own career. This song sounds like this person. She stole this song from this person. Shut the fuck up. Do you know how much music has been made in the world, in the history of humanity? Yes. Sometimes musicians are going to include a similar chord as another musician. I know that that is really hard to hear. I know that that is really hard to believe, but trust the Duchess. That's how it works. Shut up. This is a fantastic album. And as a openly anti-Taylor Swift music listener, I am so happy that I did not hear a single trace of any influence by Taylor Swift in Guts. With that being said, though, I am a sour bitch. Sour, my first listen to it, I was hook, line, and sinkered, bitch. Hook, lined, and sinkered? Sinker? Is that the saying? Hook, line, and sink. I don't know. I loved it. And with this one, I had to listen to it a couple of times. And I now appreciate it more, but the ballads just didn't hit me as much as the ballads in Sour. Like, Sour just has a very special place in my heart. That album kind of changed my life. And that's pretty much all I have to say on Olivia Rodrigo today. I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know that you're here for the very pressing information. We're here to review another Goosebumps book. Last time we talked about The Haunted Mask and Carly Beth. We all know how that went. Today, I'm so happy to kind of change gears completely. We are really jumping because if you don't remember, I'm not rating the books in order of publication. I'm rating them in the order that I find them for my own used collection. And we're really jumping around. Haunted Mask, I think, was number 11 in the series. Today, we are jumping forward to number 51 in the series. Nuts. And that would be this underrated kind of banger, Beware the Snowman. This book was interesting. This is a copy that I got from my stepmom. So I know for a fact, I didn't read this book as a kid, but I know for a fact that like this was a book on my bookshelf as a child. This very copy. And that's to say for the next couple of books that I'll be reviewing. They came from like my childhood. So nuts. So nuts. But anyways, today we're talking about Beware the Snowman, which I feel like not everybody is going to know much about. We really started with a banger with The Haunted Mask. That's one of the most like classic Goosebumps stories, I feel like. And this one's really slept on. Kind of for good reasons, but also just because people are haters. No, I'm trying to look up. I need to fact check myself because I feel like another reason people know The Haunted Mask is because it has a bunch of sequels. And I don't think it had a TV episode. Beware the Snowman, Goosebumps. TV? No, it did not. It didn't have a Goosebumps episode on the television show. And probably because the budget for that show looked cheap, and this would have been extremely difficult to film, even though we'll get into it. Okay, so let's start with a synopsis of this book. This is basically about a young girl named Jaclyn. Jaclyn spelled Jaclyn. That's not real. I say that and my name is Zabian. That's also not real. Anyways, Jaclyn. Her name is Her full name is Jaclyn DeForest. Jaclyn to forest? You're doing what in the forest? Get out of there. Also, I don't know because she lives in Jaclyn DeForest. She moves from the city of Chicago to a small town in the Arctic Circle called Sherpia. That's also not real. I mean, maybe. This could be another example of the public education system failed me, but is Sherpia a real town? Is Sherpia real? Is it? No, they're Sherpa. That's in Nepal. Sherpia. Sherpia Arctic Circle. No, bitch. This is not a real place. Wait, how do you cross the Arctic Circle in Alaska? Is the Arctic Circle in Alaska? So, where is the Arctic Circle? I know my friend Olivia's gonna watch this and be like, you're the stupidest piece of shit I've ever met. It's north of the equator. Okay. Anyways, Jaclyn moves with her Aunt Greta to Sherpia in the Arctic Circle, and it's basically it's like this story is an extremely slow burn, especially considering that it is like 100 and some pages. But it's basically just her moving to the small town, and there's this big, like, almost folklore story about a giant evil snowman that lives at the top of this hill in the town. Nobody goes there. It's scary as hell. People have, like, snowmen built outside of their houses that are, like, angry and scary looking to, like, honor the evil snowman so that it doesn't, like, get them, I guess. And there's a weird guy in town, a weird old guy with a scary dog that attacks her at one point. There's a couple of kids that she befriends, and she's basically just trying to learn this, like, lore of the snowman. And, like, she'll sleep at night and be, like, hearing whispers to herself of, like, beware the snowman, which is kind of eerie as shit. You're in the middle of the Arctic Circle and someone's whispering sweet nothings to you in the middle of the night, and you're 11. You better watch out, Jaclyn. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to give away too much too soon. That's pretty much my brief synopsis on it. I feel like a lot of the, like, horror aspect could be due to really just, like, culture shock on the part of this young child, because, you know, she's moving from Chicago to the Arctic Circle, quite different, and that can really just kind of disorientation can kind of contribute to, I feel like, confusion and chaos of the story. However, the story was really not that chaotic. There's, like, a whole weird like the folklore, like I mentioned, and then there's also stories of basically witchcraft and wizardry. Hogwarts actually takes place in Sherpia. Hogwarts is located in Sherpia. We're not here to talk about J.K. Rowling today. But yeah, at some point R.L. Stine, my best friend R.L. Stine, really went big with the names in this book. First of all, Jaclyn DeForest. Let's revisit that. But Jaclyn befriends some other kids in the town, which is, like, so far and few. This town is tiny. There's, like, no one there. Their names are Eli and Rolanda. I would like to ask R.L. Stine what the hell he was talking about when he made the names for these characters. Rolanda, he's like, ooh, yes, the Arctic Circle. How exotic. I'm going to name one of the children there Rolanda. Okay, you go for it, dude. Interesting artistic decisions we're making there. Anyways, they tell Jaclyn about this story of, like, there's a sorcerer and a sorceress, and that's who, like, brought this snowman kind of to life, this, like, evil snowman, and then they trapped him in a cave at the top of the hill in Sherpia. It's so strange. I kind of think it is similar to, like, the Alaskan bullworm in fucking SpongeBob, where they're like, what if we just picked up the town and moved it somewhere else? But they basically did that with a giant snowman that they brought to life. Okay, work. Also, you find out in terms of like relating it back to like this witchcraft and wizardry storyline, we find out that her Aunt Greta is like, I don't really know if she was okay, guys, let's talk about how I read this in like January, and it is September 12th. Let me ask you something very important. Did you forget yesterday? Think about that. I should be put down. I read this a long time ago. I don't remember exactly everything that happens in it. I did revisit some of the details for the sake of my outline and for the sake of myself to make a little bit of sense to you guys. But am I going to do that? No. That was, never mind. But yeah, she has this like, her Aunt Greta is like, not necessarily like a witch or a sorceress, but like she's affiliated with it, and that's basically it. You find out that like it's her Aunt Greta who mysteriously disappears in the night and shit like that, who is the one whispering to Jaclyn while she fucking sleeps, like the one who's whispering to her, beware the snowman. It's her scary aunt. Like, what the fuck are you? What are you talking about? You couldn't have just had sit down conversation with her and been like, look, bitch, there is this snowman in town, this scary ass fucking monster. I did move you to this town. I did move you here. And there is this monster and you should beware him. And that's that. Don't go near the hill. Don't go to the cave. And Jaclyn could have been like, okay, work. Why do you have to whisper to her in the night? Fucking weirdo. What a crazy bitch. Anyways, that is pretty much my like what I have to say and what contributes to this kind of witchcraft sorcery element of this book, which I find kind of interesting when it becomes like a folklore thing where it's like a legend has it that this happened. That shit's cool. Also, what the fuck else could you have brought to a book about an evil snowman in the Arctic Circle? Of course it has to do with witchcraft and wizardry. No shit. R.L. Stine knew what was up. Hey, my bestie R.L. Stine popped his pussy with this book a little bit. Okay, let's move on to the snowman in question. Mr. To Beware. He who... what is it? He who shall be wared. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one. So, my picture. I've contributed to the tradition that I said I would start last time with my own drawing of the villain of the book. So, editing Zabian. Insert that here. And this is my picture of the snowman in his cave. And he is pissed, as you can tell. He's like, God, I would just love to leave this cave that I've been trapped in. And but also he doesn't want to. Like, he gets pissed when people go up there and see him. At one point in the book, Eli claims to Jaclyn that he's seen the snowman with his own eyes. And that he, like, I don't know. Maybe the snowman likes people. Maybe the snowman's just misunderstood. Maybe he was just acting different one day. And the sorcerers were like, go to the cave. Go to the cave. Sit in your room for about 10 years. And then come back. And then a little girl named Jaclyn is going to get moved here by her Aunt Greta. And have to put you back in your place in the cave. Spoilers. I forgot to give you a spoiler warning again. But yeah, he's just big chillin'. He's big pissed. He's like, God, I hate it here. I hate my life. God, life sucks. The snowman's emo. The snowman's favorite band is Pierce the Veil. Can you? Oh no! Can you imagine this evil snowman up in this little cave that he's been trapped in for 10 years going, "You told me think about it, well, I did." Oh my God. The snowman dresses as Callan Quinn for Halloween. Okay. So we find out that the snowman is... Anyways, the snowman does not appear in the book, actually, until the last, 20 pages. Like I said, this book is an extremely slow burn. We hear so much about the snowman. We hear so much, what's the word? Exposition. You stupid bitches want to call me out on everything. I remember shit from college as an English major. I remember shit. I'm not talking about how I dropped out. I'm talking about what I retained before I left. Exposition. Bitch. We hear so much about the snowman, and we do not meet him until at least page 100. Dead ass. Probably earlier than that, but whatever. The last 20 pages. And in that, we learn so much from the snowman himself. We learn that he tells Jaclyn. Jaclyn goes through all this trouble with the help of Rolanda and Eli to sneak past this weird old man in town who has a dog that attacked her at some point. She gets to the cave. He is basically the protector of the cave so that people don't go up there. And she's like, "Fuck you, dude, I'm going up there." I think his name is Conrad or something. She's like, "Fuck you, Conrad, I'm going up there." And she gets there and she meets the snowman. He's like, "Who are you?" He doesn't say it like that. He's pretty pissed. He's pretty evil and mean because she didn't beware him. And he tells her, he finds out who she is. He tells her, "I am your father." He says, "Jaclyn, I am your father." This snowman is literally Darth Vader, bitch. He tells this little girl, "I'm your father. Your mother is the sorceress from the story that your friends told you. And she turned me into this snowman because she's evil. And she trapped me in this cave." This fucking snowman is a manipulative fucking misogynist. He hates women. Because obviously that story is a fucking lie. However, when I read that lie, I, as a 22-year-old at the time, reading this book for the first time, was gooped. I was gooped and gagged. It was like, oh my God, there's some substance to this plot? Holy shit! It's her dad. Anywho, so it's the dad trapped in a snowman body or something. And but then we find out from Aunt Greta, because Aunt Greta shows up from somewhere. She's like, what happens exactly? I'm giving you a review of this book and I don't even really remember what happened. She's like, she gives, oh yeah, there's some weird thing about a poem in this book too. And the poem is actually like a spell that frees the snowman, but it's also formed as we know half of the poem to begin with, but it's in the form of like a prayer or a lullaby or something. And then Aunt Greta shows up after Jaclyn's been told this story by the snowman, and she's like, "That's not fucking true." But Jaclyn, manipulated by the snowman, thinks that Aunt Greta is evil because her mom was Aunt Greta's sister. And now Aunt Greta's coming up and she's like, "That's not true. Don't listen to him." And Jaclyn's like, fuck you. What's this book that you're holding? And Aunt Greta's like, oh, it has the rest of the poem to free the snowman. She's like, that's my dad. I want to read it. Give it to me. And Aunt Greta's like, no. And then Jaclyn reads it anyways and says the poem. And then the snowman is freed. And then tries to like eat them or something, or just like grabs them and holds them over a cliff, not even going to eat them but going to kill them. And then at some point, what happens? What the googling what happens in this book. Spark notes for Beware the Snowman. But yeah, the plot line, Jaclyn thinks she's evil. I lost my train of thought. Let's cast it. That's my imitation of a fishing line. Let's reel it back in, guys. Let's reel it back in. So like the whole storyline is that Aunt Greta moved Jaclyn there because she needed to keep the snowman in the cave because like after 10 years the spell was about to wear off or something. I don't know. Okay, sorry guys, my brain just shut off for about a minute. Anyways, my train of thought is kind of back. So at one point during all this, Jaclyn learns once the snowman is free from the cave that he's not a giant snowman. He's actually a giant fucking monster that has been trapped in the body of a giant snowman and then trapped inside of this cave, and learns that it's not her father, but her father and mother were the sorcerer and the sorceress from this folklore story, and they're the ones that trapped the monster in the body of the snowman and then trapped him in a cave. So now the monster's free because Jaclyn read this stupid fucking poem because she's kind of a dumb bitch. And now she is like about to get killed, and an army or a parade of snowmen are coming up the hill, and it's all the snowmen from the neighbors' houses that they have out as like as a peace offering to the snowman, I guess. They all start coming up. They're gonna fucking kill Jaclyn, and then surprise, bitch, the snowmen don't do that. So this like army of snowmen don't kill Jaclyn and Aunt Greta, but they get the big snowman. They like cover the big monster that was inside the snowman, and they like kill him by pushing him into a wall of ice so that he's frozen. Why did Jaclyn's parents not do that? Why did we have to have the drama of turning him into a giant fucking snowman and trapping him in a cave? Why couldn't we have just pushed him? Again, the Alaskan bullworm. Why couldn't we just push him somewhere else into the ice wall? If it worked in 10 years, it could have worked back then. And then this would have never happened. But, like, okay, weird way to get rid of the monster. And also, is he really dead? If he's just frozen, he's basically in a cryo chamber right next to fucking Walt Disney. Is Walt Disney's whole head, or is Walt Disney's whole body in the cryo chamber, or is it just his head? What's the point of that? Because, like, I'm not a scientist, but that doesn't seem like it's possible. That doesn't make any sense to me. What? That... Anyways, so we've cryo-chambered the monster. And I made a note for myself. So, you know, I dreamcasted Joey King as Carly Beth, and in this live adaptation of Beware the Snowman, if I were the casting director, I would cast a bunch of for lack of a better term, monsters, or little monsters, like Lady Gaga fans. But they're all actually just like little monster twinks dressed as Lady Gaga. And they're all marching up this hill, and Jaclyn and Aunt Greta are like, Twinks, no, not Twinks. And and then the snowman is just Mother Monster. The snowman's played by Lady Gaga. she would eat. You know, Gaga would give her whole puss into that. That would be cunt. Okay. Okay, I do have to bring this up in regards to the way that we executed this monster. When I first read the book, one of my biggest pieces of criticism, you could say, is why didn't anyone just bring a hairdryer up the mountain and melt this bitch, melt this giant snowman? And then because it's a giant snowman. Do you know what they're made of? Snow. They don't have any like organs or bones. They just have 2 stick arms, maybe some coal in the face. They've gotten some work done, but like inside, snow. Believe it or not, just snow that could be melted by heat. But now, like, no shit, that wouldn't have worked. It was a monster inside the giant snowman. Like, basically Pennywise the dancing clown. Dance, evil snowman, dance. You know what I'm talking about in the new It movie when he does that weird... The first time I watched that movie, I saw that movie in the theater, part 1. Oh, we have to talk about part 2 in just a second. Part 1, I saw in the theater. I thought that movie was scary as shit. But also the part where he's doing the evil dance in front of what's her name, Beverly, in the cave. I thought that was scary as shit, and everyone else made a meme out of it. I thought that was kind of scary. I don't know, guys. But now that I brought up that, I think It Chapter 1 from 2017 maybe, was really good. I really like that movie. If I'm ever in the mood to watch it, that's the one that I watch. I don't watch the 1990s version. Tim Curry is the only reason that adaptation of Stephen King's It is like serviceable, is because of Tim Curry. I will watch part 1. Okay, so I watched part 1, and then it took me years to actually read the novel It by Stephen King. Years, because that book is fucking huge and I'm a very slow reader. And I like started it over maybe like 2 or 3 times because I would take huge breaks in between it and forget what happened and then just start over. But I like It Chapter 2 came out while I like before I had even started trying to finish the book. So I was like holding off on watching that movie for the first time, It Chapter 2, until I finished the book. I finished the book last summer. That night I watched It Chapter 2. It Chapter 2 from, I think, 2019 is it is like in my top 3 worst horror movies I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. I don't think I have ever been so angry watching a movie. It is like, I feel very passionately about this. It is absolutely the worst book to film adaptation I've ever seen in my life. That movie is fucking atrocious. It is literally damaging to the entire like legacy that Stephen King created with his novel. It is such a fucking joke. That movie is a fucking monstrosity, and anyone who had anything to do with that movie should be probably jailed for about 10 years, because good God, that movie was so fucking stupid. So stupid. The fucking spider clown, that didn't happen. That was so stupid. Oh, so stupid. So fucking dumb. Oh, I hated that. I need some coffee. Twink. Oh, that movie was so fucking dumb. Oh, I hated it. Oh, I will never rewatch it again. Bill Skarsgård should be fucking sued for that movie. Ugh. Oh, so many things about it I fucking hated, but we're not here to talk about that. I just had to get that off my chest. So yeah, a bunch of twinks would be playing My Army of Snowmen. And Beware the Snowman. And then yeah, going back to like, you couldn't just melt him. This is evidence of like my personal growth, because if you even go back and watch my TikTok video reviewing this book, I stand very firmly like, why did no one just melt him? Because earlier this year, Zabian, that wouldn't have worked. You're dumb. And that will affect my ratings later, but we'll get into that. Yeah, then you learn after the snowman has been shoved into the ice wall that Conrad, the evil guy with the weird dog who's protecting people from going up the cave, is he is Jaclyn's father, secret father. There is a "I am your father" moment 2 times in this book in the last 20 to 25 pages. Again, gooped and plucked. I was like, but the monster said, and now it's you. And where's her mom? Did her mom die? Where's her mom? I never even thought about that. Where's her mom? Because this guy's single with a scary dog. I don't even know. But yeah, he ends up being the one that like sent all of the snowmen up the hill to kill the monster because he's a sorcerer. He's the one that like put the monster in the cave. It was like him and the mother. I think she had to have like died. No one in a scary story has both parents. Name one example of a scary movie where one of the main characters has a healthy relationship with both of their parents. Name one. And then doesn't die. And then that character doesn't die. Because I'm like, okay, well, you got like Drew Barrymore in Scream, whose parents seem to care about her. Nope, she dies. Spoiler alert for Scream. If you've never seen Scream, what the fuck are you doing? That opening sequence in Scream is one of the best, like, I can't even say that Scream is like my favorite scary movie or anything. It is a staple. It's a really good movie. I like it a lot. I've never seen any of the other ones, which is like, I need to watch those. But like, Drew Barrymore's performance in that movie is one of the best. Like, that whole opening sequence is one of the best opening sequences to a movie I've ever seen. So good. So good. So good. We're moving on from so fucking horrible to so good in terms of my opinions on movies today. I'm giving y'all fucking whiplash. But yeah, there's another. We find out one accusatory, misogynistic, fucking manipulative snowman secret father to an actual secret father. And honestly, like, that's the end of the book. The end of the book is literally like they reunite. And then the snowmen like circle all of them. The army of snowmen circle all of them. And one of them is like, can we go back down the hill? It's fucking cold up here. That is the end of the book. And I think this book, although it was a very slow burn, it deserved a sequel. Carly Beth did not deserve a sequel. This one did. It left off on such a good note. We could have learned more about her relationship with her dad. We could have just like, there could have been, you could have introduced us to another monster or something. Like, there's so much potential. She could have like learned to become a sorcerer or a sorceress, because that shit has to be passed down through blood, genetics. That's how witchcraft and wizardry work. And it deserved more. It wasn't great, but it deserved more. And I do think I am just projecting my love for fucking ACOTAR onto this book. Let's talk about ACOTAR for a second. I have not finished the series. I haven't, so if you tell me any fucking spoilers past book 2, I will come to your house and I will strangle you, and then I will rip out all your hair, one strand at a time. And then I will put that hair in a bag. I'll send it to probably looking up one second, wig manufacturers. I'll probably send it to someone in Los Angeles and then make a wig out of all of your ripped out strands of hair. And then I will show up to your funeral where you are bald. And then I'll be like, oh my God, you guys did her so dirty. And I'll whip out this wig of your hair and I'll put it on your fucking dead body in a casket. So don't spoil ACOTAR for me. I love those books so much. I love those books so much. My dream. Okay, so when I read a book, I don't make characters in my head. I don't make faces in my head. I cast real people to the characters. My casting for ACOTAR is so good. Okay, so I imagine Florence Pugh as Farah, and I imagine Timothée Chalamet as Reason. And no, that has nothing to do with Little Women. It has nothing to do with that. I read the first ACOTAR book a long time ago before I ever saw Greta Gerwig's Little Women, and I imagined Florence Pugh as the main character right away. I did not have a picture in my head for literally any of the other characters, like a clear cut, this is who I imagine as this character when I read that book, including Reason. It wasn't until I started the second book and then stopped for a really long time, didn't read it, and then like a year later maybe finally read it this summer. And I was like, I need a good image for Reason. And Timothy Chalamet. I love Timothy Chalamet so much, and that is like a perfect match. Has nothing to do with Little Women. Nothing. And if you bitches say that I just did that because of Little Women, I'm going to be so pissed at you. And that's not true. Not true. But I love Reason so much. Reason is my dream man. My dream man. Do you hear me? Reason from A Court of Thorns and Roses is my dream man. He is the ideal male figure. I need him like water. Anyways, I literally, the second book in that series, 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads from me. I just have to read those books now. I have to finish. I bought the third one so that I could read it, and I read about one chapter and had to stop because I'm so pissed about what happened at the end of the second book. And I'm like, I don't want it to go on. I want to just reread the second book over and over again. And I want to kick my feet and imagine Timothy Chalamet teaching her magic powers and shit. I love this book so much. I love that book so much. Anyways, now that let's try to maintain some sanity here. I think that's the end of my review for this book. I think it. I'm just thinking about Timothy Chalamet now. Those videos of Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner, everyone is so pissed about it as if he has done something horribly wrong. Everyone's like, she looks like his mother, which I'd have to agree. I did think that Timothy Chalamet was like 22 and Kylie Jenner was like 35. He's older than her by a year. Anywho, those videos of them at like a concert, I don't remember whose concert it was, maybe Beyonce. I was kind of like bothered by them, but like in a good way. You know what I mean? Those videos are crazy. Everyone's pissed about them. I'm here for it. I love boyfriend Timothy content. Are you kidding? Love it. I'm living vicariously through Kylie Jenner. Anyways, that's the end of my review for Goosebumps Beware the Snowman. Sorry, that scared the shit out of me. One of my dogs was sitting outside my door and then like moved and the door was like going to open. And the tea is that I am home alone right now. So that scared the fuck out of me. Sorry. If you hear them, my dog's barking. I don't know why they're barking. I might be getting a delivery right now. And that's that. That is the end of my review. Let's move on to the numbers, bitch. And let me tell you, the numbers for this book are different than they were in my TikTok series. So let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. All right. Sorry, my dogs are making such weird noises. It's scaring the fuck out of me now. Anyways, let's pop up the rubric, Zabian, right here. Editing Zabian, do your thing. Anyways, we're starting off with the spookiness of the concept. Sorry. I am a male. Unfortunately, as much as I hate to admit it, I am a male. And you're just going to have to deal with that. Twink. The spookiness of the concept. In this book, I gave a 2 out of 5. I do think that like a spooky old folklore story, it is like pretty much always unsettling. I think it does add like quite a bit of an element of drama. But this one was pretty lame. A sorcerer made an evil snowman and put him in a cave. Okay. Weird. Also sounds so fake. Like no shit, Jaclyn didn't believe anybody. Jesus Christ. Anywho. Moving on, the villain in the story. The snowman, he who should be bewildered. He who should be weird. He who walks behind the cave dwelling. Anyway, I don't know. I gave the Snowman a 1.75 out of 5. There was a very nice plot twist at the end. Very nice. But the villain was so absent. The Snowman was so absent until the last 20 pages of the book, which made it so underwhelming. His big finish, his final appearance, his first and final appearance at the end of the book, it was great, but it did not make up for the fact that he was not in the book at all. Like, at all, in my opinion. I did appreciate the previously mentioned Stephen King allusion with, like, Pennywise the Clown, you know, an evil entity taking the form of another to kind of make itself more presentable to whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I did appreciate it, so it doesn't deserve a 1. It gets the extra points for effort. Reader's tolerance of the protagonist. In this book, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Although she is a bit stubborn, she doesn't really listen to like anybody. Jaclyn is an independent girl boss, and she will confidently do whatever it fucking takes to figure shit out and solve a mystery. She does so much shit on her own. She is such a badass. She doesn't just believe everything that anyone tells her. She doesn't have any vengeance towards people. She's just like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm going to figure it out without the permission of adults in my life telling me not to. But not in a way that's like harmful to herself. She's just trying to figure shit out. She better work. Jaclyn, you better fucking serve, work, give cunt pussy. Plot twist and resolution. I gave it a 4 out of 5. The parent reveal of this book, the Darth Vader, I am your father reveal, is not super original, but the way that it was done, like I said, I was actually shocked. I probably audibly gasped when I read both of those. And it happened twice. It wasn't even just once that I was like, it was twice. I went, and then I went, you know? Ugh. That was good. RL, Mr. Stein, you fucking got me there. I was gooped. That was crazy. Underlying messages and social commentary, I gave a 3 out of 5. There's definitely an underlying theme of colonizing in this book, and that's represented through the move of Jaclyn from Chicago to the Arctic Circle. But I think that this book represents the way that colonizing should have happened, specifically in America to begin with. Instead of, ooh, I come from a land that is yours and I'm going to take it. This book had, ooh, I'm from a land that is yours and not mine, and I'm going to be a little sensitive to the fact that you have a very different culture than I do. And I'm also going to, as a determined outsider, not steal things from you, not kill you, and not treat you like fucking garbage, but I'm going to do what I can to see if what you're saying is true, figure out the validity and the figure out how real your shit is, basically. That's it. A much more positive take on the idea of colonizing, basically. Anywho. And lastly, did I get Goosebumps? No. So no extra half a point for this book. So when all is said and done, Beware the Snowman, the 51st book in the Goosebumps series, gets a 2.9 out of 5 from me. And that makes me absolutely ecstatic, because now if we move over to the McCandy Library's official rating of the 62 original Goosebumps books, that means that Beware the Snowman is in first place and is knocking the Haunted Mask way down the totem pole. Me to Carly Beth. Me when Carly Beth fucking sucks, I'd be like, anyways. Congratulations, Beware the Snowman. Congratulations, Jaclyn. You and your hard work and determination in finding your real father have benefited you, and you're now in first place. Fuck Carly Beth. I hope Carly Beth is last at the end of this series. Anyways. that's it. That's my episode 2 of Things That Go Bump. That was my review of number 51 in the original Goosebumps series, Beware the Snowman. Work. If you liked this episode, if you want to see more from me, you can, if you're watching the video podcast, you can like the video, share it, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment with your thoughts. If you read this book, did you like it when you were a child? Did you like it when you were an adult and you reread it? Is it good? Let me know what you think about this book in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see from me in the comments below, you want me to talk about, blah, blah, blah. If you're listening to this as an audio podcast, give me a 5-star rating, follow my channels so that you get notified and can stay up to date with my next episodes. If you want to follow my socials, if you want to support my small art business, all of the links that you need are in the description of this episode. My personal Instagram and TikTok, my art shop, my art Instagram, my art TikTok, all of it is below, bitches. And that's it. That's it from me. This has been episode 2 of Things That Go Bump. Let's work on a new outro. I hated my outro last time, and I think I came up with a new one that I like, and I'm going to stick with it. Is it cringy? Yes, but I like it more than stay goosey and stay bumpy. That's stupid. So till next time, y'all, keep it loosey, stay goosey. Adios.